Hello and welcome coders. Today we are going to create this beautiful looking web page with the help of HTML, CSS and some JavaScript. Let's study the design first of all before we start coding. So this is the desktop design that they have given us. Let me maximize this window, and this is what we have to code as our end product. There is this logo of that company. There is an image of a model. Then there's a heading, there's a paragraph, there's an input field and a button as well. This is the passive state, and then this is the active state. So the website accepts an email, it checks the syntax of the email, and if it is valid, then nothing happens, I think. But if it is invalid, then an image of an error icon is generated with a message that says please provide a valid email. And you can see the color of the button also changes, and the pointer also changes. So we have to code all of this. This is the mobile design that we have to code. It has a logo, there's an image, there's this heading, this paragraph, the input field, the button again. So it's a newbie level challenge. It's not very hard to code. We will see all the images that they have given to us. There's a favicon. I don't need to show you that. This is the hero desktop and this is the hero mobiles. These are two different images. So we don't have to scale, we don't have to apply any effects on one image. And to make our web page scalable, we have to use two different images according to what display we are using. So here we will start Visual Studio Code. So yeah, Visual Studio Code is starting up. Let me close this command prompt. This is Visual Studio Code. Index.html is already opened here. You can see these folders being expanded to show what are the contents. You can check designs and images here. By the way, we are in index.html. This is some text that they've given us after we've extracted that file. So let me first of all cut this and get it here and make comment of it. So I've commented the text that we will require in our journey. So yeah, so now we have okay, they have also provided us with a footer. I've already entered my name here. You can enter your name. Remember, this is a challenge from the website Frontend-mentor. You can always check that website for this challenge. You can download this challenge and code with me if you like. So first of all, we will code for mobile because that is the model of coding that I take, always mobile first. So if you see at the mobile design, we have the logo of the web page, we have the image, we have heading, we have paragraph, we have the input field and a button. So it's not that hard to code for mobile. So the basic structure, if you can see here, that is coming in front of my eyes, is that we will create a big division which will encapsulate all of this, also the image, the head, everything, logo, image, everything. And when we will switch to the desktop preview, we will make that mobile image disappear and we will make the desktop image appear. But this desktop image will not be the part of the big division that we are going to create. That is going to be my way of doing it. You can choose any other way to do it. This is a very simple way. So as I said, I will be creating a big division that would encapsulate everything that should be displayed on my mobile. And then after that division, I will have the desktop uh, hero, so the desktop image. That is my different division. Desktop hero will have the desktop hero image. So it is stored in your images folder. So you have to do this. Hero desktop /img is my alternative text that I'm going to give it. I will save this. Now I don't have to use this because I'm coding mobile first, but I've created it and I'll create a style sheet and make it disappear. Okay, so first of all, I am going to start with my main division. So get ready. Code in main division. So as we seen before, mobile design, it has a logo. So first of all, we'll create a division for a logo. It will have an image that would be the image of the logo that we have in the images folder. So there it is. You could have directly without creating a division of logo, you could have directly created you could have directly used the image as it is, but I prefer to create a division just because in the future if you want to search bar there or anything else there, so it's better to encapsulate it in a division. So okay, so we've created a logo. If you see again, then there is the mobile hero image. Now this time I will again create another division, mobile hero, which would have an image that would be the mobile hero. So hero mobile.jpg is there. Hero mobile, hero mobile image is my alternative text. Remember, alternative text, alt text is the text that is shown on your web page if the browser fails to load the image. Then there's the heading. Okay, so rather than creating a different division for heading and all of this, I will create a small division called content, which would consist of all of this part because it could be encapsulated easily. So I think that is the proper way of doing it. Content is what I would prefer to name it. So we will now code in content. We require a heading there in the content, so that's going to be h3. You remember the text that we have to place there, so that's we are coming soon. That's the heading. Let me paste it here. uh, then we need the paragraph element, so we'll use a p tag for the paragraph. We'll copy the paragraph as it is and we'll paste it here. So it is pasted, we'll save it, and the next is the input field, I'm sorry, for the email address and the button. Oh, by the way, the heading is styled differently. It is not a uniform style that is there. So the text VR is styled differently than the text coming soon. So we can do that by coming here and getting a sub element in between. So let me use a span, which would consist of VR coming. Sorry, which will consist of VR coming soon. So it would be used to style the text VR differently than the rest of the heading. Now for the input field and the button, and then we also have to generate another image here and then another few text here after checking the email. So rather than coding it as it is, we will create another division. You can exclude that part if you want to, but I prefer separating modules. So that is why I will create another division and I'll call it the email division because it deals with everything that is about email. So email division, first of all, will have an input field. So input field, it will have, I will give it a name as email field. Then it will have an ID of email field just for styling purposes. By the way, you could use classes instead of IDs. You're completely uh, welcome to do that. It does not make a great difference. Remember, when you use classes, you can use them on multiple elements, but when you use IDs, you can use them on individual elements. So that is the only difference. Otherwise, it does not make a huge difference. You have to use a hash to refer to an ID, and you have to use a dot to refer to an class in your style sheet. Of course, you can do that. It's not a big deal. So yeah, I've given it a title as well. So that's my email field. Now I will be using I will be creating a button. So yeah, there's a button. I'll give it Let's give it an ID. Let's call it email button because it processes the email. You can, of course, you can name anything you want. Okay. If you observe closely, this what do you call it? Angular bracket. Then it is given in the images folder. Here it is, and it is the icon arrow. It's called. Of course, you can't see this because it's an SVG format. You can see it on the browser being displayed. So by the way, we'll create an image inside here and we will use that image of arrow. Yeah, arrow image. I'll name it. So that's my button. Then I want to use a image that would be displayed if there's an error. So again, you have that icon as well. Error image is what I'll give alternative text to it. I don't want to give any ID because I will be easily able to access it by using the email div image property. I can also give it an ID by the way, but yeah, okay, let's give it an ID because if I say image of email div, then this image is also accessed. I don't want that. Let me give an ID. Error image would be a good ID. Yeah. And some text which would say please provide a valid email. Text message that will appear if the email is invalid. I will also give it an ID called error info. So it is info about the error. So yeah, I think that is all. That's all for that division. Let me check mobile design again. Yeah, I think everything is fine now. This is the structure of my web page. So our HTML structure is already ready. Let me see it in the browser. So this is the structure without any styling. You can see the logo, the mobile hero, the desktop hero, the text here, the email field. It does not look very nice. It does not look any close to the problem that we want to. But that is our new objective. We have to make it look like we have the challenge. Okay, so we will create a style.css file in the same folder. We will first of all, so a very important step by the way, whenever you create a style sheet, don't forget to link it in your HTML because many times I have created a style sheet, written code in it, and I forgot to to link it with my HTML. So yeah, that's definitely a problem. So so we will go back in our CSS file. We've linked our CSS file with our index.html file. So now we will code. So first of all, I will make everything stick to my body. So body padding 0 and margin 0 would be my code. So please check that difference out. Yeah, you can see everything is sticky. By the way, I want to code for mobile first. I want to style for mobile first. So I'm coming here and here I will select a mobile display. This is now a mobile display on your browser. And okay, why? Let's code from the style editor, Firefox. So we already coded for body, margin 0, padding 0. Let me give. Let's code for the main division now. Oh, before we code for the main division, let me make this desktop hero disappear. Yeah, shouldn't we do that? We should do that. Display none. Yeah. So now it's gone. You can see. I'll save this and move forward. I don't want, why is it inspecting? Okay, fine. So that image is gone. Let's code for our main division now. So I want the main division width to be fixed, and how do I know of what width should it have? So frontend mentor, when you download a challenge, frontend mentor gives you this style guide.md file where you are given with the width that your uh, web page should be displayed on. So it should have 375 pixel default width for mobile devices, a 1440 pixel default width for desktop. They give you colors that you have to use, the primary colors, the neutral colors. You can see red and gray. They give it in an HSL format, and they give you gradients and all. They give you typography, what fonts to use, what weights to use, what font size to use for your text. So this is a very important file. So if you're coding, make sure you see that file and code your way through. So main division, since we are coding for mobile, I will give it a default width of a 375 pixels. So 375 pixels, I've written it there. And now let's make it responsive here only. So when the display is bigger, you can see this, let's say this is a tablet, a 570 pixel tablet near about. So the text is going to the left, so I want it to be centered, aligned in the center if on a tablet devices. So what we will do is use the margin tag, and we will give 0 margin from top and bottom. I don't want any margin from top and bottom, but I want margin from left and right, and I want it to be auto. So what that does is it puts your main division into the center of the web page. So that is I think that makes it look good on a tablet device. Okay, let's get back to our 375 pixel display. So that's it for the main division so far. Let's go for logo. Yeah, let's go for logo. So logo, if you think about it, if you check the image that we want it to look like, design, you have to go in. Oh, sorry about that. To go in design, you have to go in here, mobile design. And if you see it, the logo is not as big as it is displayed in our web browser. So we have to make it a bit small. We have to give it some space from top and bottom, and from, I don't think that this is space. I think if you scale the logo down, it will automatically get this space there. So let's try, let's see. So rather than giving a margin, I'll use a padding. Remember, padding is a space that the between the, since the logo is a division, imagine this as a box. So let me give it a border so you can easily spectate. So see, this is the body. If I give margin, let's say 15 pixels margin I give. So what happens is that outside of that division, a space of 15 pixel is created outside that division. And if you do it padding of 15 pixel, then the division grows bigger, and the space between the boundary of the division and the content is 15 pixels. So that is the difference between margin and padding. So I'm giving padding here, I don't want to give margin. You could do that. So padding of 15 pixels from top and bottom, and 0 pixels from left and right. And now I want to scale my image down, so I want to make it smaller. Okay, I don't want to make my division smaller, I want to make my image smaller. So that is why I would have to use logo image, and then I would use a transform property, scale 0. Let's say 65 comma 0.65 would be enough. So yeah, you can see now that my logo is scaled down to 0.65, 0.65. Let me make this border disappear because it's a bit annoying. Yeah, you can see here. So my image now is much, so my logo image is much like the what we have to code. So let's go and let's go to the next section. I don't think we need to change anything in this image. I think it's perfect. By the way, this image, if you check its dimensions, and where to see the dimensions, I saw its dimensions. I think it is you click on resize. Okay, anyway, this is not a complete, this is not a 600 pixel height. So this is I think a 800 pixel height, I'm not sure, but here it's a 600 pixels height. So your images would look a bit bigger here and a bit smaller here, so don't get confused. So I don't think there is any styling required on that image. Let's move forward. Since it's in the division, it would appear as a block. It would take up as much space as it requires, and it won't jump to a new line. It won't behave as an inline block because we have encapsulated it within an division. So that is the difference. That is the that is why I put it inside the division. So now let's code the content. So content, if you look in the mobile design, the first thing that I observe is that the text is aligned in the center. There is a spacing from the left side and the right side. Then I observe that the font family is different. So okay, first of all, we will make the text center. So text align center is the property to do that. We will give it a bit of padding. Let's not have any padding from top and bottom. Let's have padding from sides. 35 pixel is what we've given. You could have given a top bottom padding because you can see there is a little bit of space from the top and bottom, but I would do that within the headings. So that is my way of doing it. You can of course give a padding here and it's fine. If you give a padding here, it will create a space, but okay, this is, you can do that as well. So now let's code the content header that we have. So that header I think has a large size of, let's give it a 40 pixel size. Yeah, appears big enough. There's some line height there, not a line break, line height. Let's give a one line height. There is padding of 0 pixel and 30 pixels. As you can observe, oh, by the way, did it change or what? 40, 30 pixels. I don't see a difference. Let me put 30 pixels here. Okay, that does not make a huge difference. Okay, fine. So what I wanted to say here is that you can see that the paragraph has little less space from the boundary than the heading. The heading is more encapsulated within. Yeah, so that is the difference. So given a 30 pixel padding, and why I've given, you can see there's not much space here, but after I make it uppercase, which I will do with the transform uppercase. Oh, text transform, yeah, that is the property, not transform. Text transform is the property. So yeah, you can see that the space is there now, and I want the what do you call it, the letters, yeah, the letters to be spaced more. So I'll use 10 pixel letter spacing. If you compare that with this, I think it is good enough. Yeah, I think it's good enough. So now let's code the content paragraph. First of all, there is this unnecessary space here. I don't know how it got generated, but I don't want it there. So what I will do is I will use a margin top, and I'll give it a minus value. So when you give a margin top property a minus value, what happens is that the content goes up. If you give a margin top and you give positive value, the content will go down. But here I want the content to go up. So that is what I've done here. I've given it margin top minus 25 pixels to get it up. Then what I would like to do is I would give the font size to 14 pixels to make it look smaller. Now it looks cool. I would also then give the line height. If you observed in the problem statement, then you would know that the line height is a little bit bigger than the heading. So I've given it a line height, maybe 1.5 would be nice. Yeah, I think 1.5 is okay. Yeah, okay. So I've given it line height. Now I'll give it a color. The color is taken from the styleguide.md. You can see the color. By the way, I used a hex code there, but here they provide you with uh, HSL format text. So if you want to change it to hex code, what you can simply do is copy that HSL, yeah, cut it or copy it, whatever you want. You go here and let's paste it here, and then in Visual Studio Code, what you can do is you can hover over it, and it will generate this box, and then you just have to click here, and then you will get your hex code, whatever you want to. So this is a very cool tip about Visual Studio Code that you can use. So yeah, that's the color. So it has shown here. Let's move forward. Oh, by the way, VR is not styled in red. If you look here, VR is having a little lesser font weight, and it is styled in red colors. That is the difference. Okay, we'll generate it here, and we can do that using H3 and span. So that is our hierarchy that we will use here. What happened there? We'll give it a color as we've given before, CE9797, the color. Oh, I think it's a different color. Is it CE9797? That's the flag color. Just the difference is that the font weight is less. Font weight is 300. Yeah, it's much slim than the rest of the heading. I think it is fine now this time. Yeah. So let's. So our content is done. So we will move forward to our next important division. Let me create some spacing so that it appears on the top. Yeah. So here we go. So we have to now code the email division. First of all, we will code our email field. Email field we will code. We will give it a margin top, so it will have some space from the top. Margin top of 15 pixel would be, I think, would be nice enough. Yeah, enough. I don't think so. If we want, we will give it more. Let's move to the next element. We will give a border of 1 pixel solid red that you're using. So because you can see here there's a slim border that's colored. Wait, maybe it's not 1 pixel, but with less than that. Okay, so what we will do is go here and say 0.75 pixel. Yeah, make it more slimmer. Then we will make it appear bigger. To make it appear bigger, we'll give a padding of 10 pixel. From the top, we will give a 100 pixel padding to the right. We will give another 10 pixel from the bottom, and we will give a 20 pixel to the left. So you can see it appears now much better. The reason why I've given 100 pixel and 20 pixel and not 60 pixel is that I want this placeholder and whatever the text is to start from here and not from the center. Had I used 60 pixel here and 60 pixel here, you can see the placeholder appears to be in the center of the page, that of the division, but I don't like that. I want it to be displayed slightly towards the left because that is how they have coded it. You can see. So it's the same, but just makes the placeholder appear differently. Okay, so padding, we've given it a nice padding, I would say. Then we want to give the email field. Let's see. We would give it a border radius of 20 pixel to make it rounded. Yeah, you can see now border radius. If you observe here, this is a rounded input field, and that is what we have given here, 20 pixel. Most of the people, what they use when they use border radius, they use percentage, but when you give percentage, you can see it is different. So you have to use pixels if you want to make pill buttons. These are called pill buttons on W3 schools at least. So what it does is that only shapes the horizontal, not the horizontal, the right left sides. I'm not aware of the intricacies there, but I know that you have to use pixels here rather than using something else. Okay, I don't want to position it right now. What I want. Okay. I, the text also has the same color of the desaturated red. If you can see here, the text is also in red color. The placeholder is automatically, you can see the placeholders opacity is less than the other text, because that is a default style that the placeholder has on itself. And so let's now move on forward to the email button. We would first of all make it look a little bit bigger, so I'll give it 8 pixels here and 25 pixels. Oh, I forgot to give a space. So it appears to be a much wider. So that is what my intention is, and I want to give it a border radius again of 20 pixel to make it appear like a pill button. I don't want that ugly looking border, so I will say border none. Now it looks very grayish. So let me first of all give it a background. What is the background? Okay, if you observe closely, this is not a solid color. This is a gradient that they have given. They've mentioned that gradient in the style guide. So I will use a background image. Remember, you have to use background image tag to give gradients. Linear gradient 135 degree, and then the colors that they have asked us to use are HSL 0, 100%, 98%. To move that to give a comma, HSL again 0, 80%, 86%. You can see that it looks more now like that. I have to move it for a little bit up to make it see. Okay, that is very light actually. This color is very light. Oh, okay. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've used the wrong. First of all, let me copy this because we will require this when we have to make the button hover. And let me replace this color, and let me give it a bit darker color. So the darker color that they have given us is HSL 0, 74%, 74%. So now you can see it appears more darker. That is what we wanted to make to look like. Now let us position it here, at the edge of the input fields. That is what we will have to do now. So for positioning it, we will use position relative. So relative positioning is positioning an element within a division relative to its previous position. So now it is here and you want it to go top from here. So what you will do is use top element and use minus some something. So now it goes up. So it goes up because it jumps from its previous position, not from the border of the division which it is a child of. So that is the difference between relative positioning and absolute positioning. That when you use relative positioning, the element is positioned according to its previous position or its original position. So I've used minus 40 pixels. I think minus 40 pixels is a lot. I think I should use some less value than that. Minus 39 I guess would be cool. Yeah, 39 pixels. Yeah, I think 1 pixel does not do great. 8 pixels. Okay, looks nicely in the center. Let me give a 38.5. Why not? And I want it to be more left than that. So 120 pixels. Oh, brilliant. Excellent. 120 pixel worked just fine. Let me see here. Okay, the button, I think I've made the button a bit more wider than I should have. So let's go here and the padding and reduce it to 20 pixel to see to make it a little bit less wider than before. I think now it is completely fine, or is it much smaller? Okay, let's go for 21.5. Let's increase by 1.5, and let's give a little bit more left side thing, so it moves more to the left. So now you can see, I think it matches well with what we want to do. Now we have to code for the hover stage. If you remember, email button. So this is how you can use. You can code for hover state. You can use a colon and then mention the state that you want. There are many states. There are many states that you can code for. If you go here, then there's markers, empty, and all. Oh, these are not the codes. So hover. Okay, check them on W3 schools. So I want a different background image. This was the lighter one. So if you go here, I should save this first of all. Hover. Oh, what? Why is not happening? So previously this hover was not working, but now it is working. I refreshed the page. I closed everything. I reopened it, and it worked. Sometimes you have to face some weird problems like that. So yeah, this is done, I think. By the way, I have to change the cursor to grab. Yeah, because that is how they wanted us to create it, like. And yeah, by the way, I have also applied a new property, that is the box shadow property. So you can see a shadow around the button. That is how we have created it. In the active state, if you observed, then the shadow increases a little bit. That creates a nice effect that the button is elevated from its position. So what we will do is do this. So now it looks like it is elevating from its position. So we've changed the box shadow property, and this is the hover effect on the button. Now we will focus on the error image that is there. So email, oh, what was the, I think it was error image, not email anything. Yeah, error image is the name of the image that would be displayed if there's an error. So first of all, we would change its height to 22.5 pixels. Then we would change its width to the same 22.5 pixels. That is, we would make its position relative, and we would get it top minus 70, so it goes up. I think top minus 70 is a lot. Let me go here, select my mobile. Minus 70 is a lot. Let's go minus 50, minus 40, minus 30, 37. Yeah, 36 would be perfect, I think. Yeah, now it appears in the center of that email field. Let me align it with left. Left, I would give, let's say, 215 pixels. Oh, I think 215 pixels is a lot. 25 pixels. More than that, 35 pixels. Yeah, I think 35 pixels is right. And now let me code my error info. So error info is what I will code. If you observe carefully, then there is not much space between the email field and the p tag, the error info, and it is also smaller in font size than the other text that appears on your web page. So I will give it a 13 pixel. Then I will color it first of all. Okay, it is already colored. Why is it colored? Ah, okay. What happened here? is when we used content p tag, content p, then this also got the styles got applied there, and I don't think that is good. So now what we have done is given this p tag an id of text, because we don't want it to be styled in the same manner as this is styled, or rather we don't want this error info to be styled the way this p tag is styled. So we've given them two separate ids, and now what we will do is give we'll write code about that error info. Also, by the way, I already changed the content p with content text. So now these are two different elements and they would be styled differently. Let me go here. Let me let me inspect the element again once again. Yes. Go here. Let's style editor. Select this as well. And now you can see the cell is open. So yeah, I'm talking about my error info. So error info. Maximize this here so that you can see where. So now we are inside error info. So to first of all, we want to give it a color of C9797. Then next thing, we want its font to be a little bit smaller than what it is. So we'll say font size to be 12 pixels. I think 12 pixels is a lot smaller. 13 pixels would be okay. Let me give it a margin top. So I want it a little bit up. So 40 pixels I would say. So now it is gone up. Okay. 35 would I think be absolutely perfect. So let me give it a margin left. I want it to move towards the left, so I will say minus 30 pixels. So that is not enough. I'll say minus 100 pixels. That is a lot. Pixels is, I think it's perfect. If you see here and if you find the open the mobile design, then you can see. Oh, I have to open the active states actually. Yeah, if you open the active states, okay, there is a little bit space. So 100 pixels is too much. Let me settle for 80 pixels. Yeah, I think 80 pixels would be good, and let me get rid of some space. Yeah, 32 pixels would be fine. So now this is our by the way, I have noticed that when you select an iPhone here and you select this option, that is disable touch simulation, then your hover is not visible. So if you select this, then your hover is, there's no hover effect because it treats it as a mobile display. In mobile display, if your web page is displayed, there's no hover effect. That was the reason why our hover was not working. Now we have disabled it. So I think everything is done rightly. Everything's perfect. If you look here, display, there's no problem in anything here. The heading and all, it's fine. Just the font I have to change, but I'll do that at the end. Okay, the what is this? The footer had some what what they say had some default style that was given by frontend mentor, but I have deleted it. I don't know why I deleted it, but I have recovered it as well. Just wait a second. So it was coded at the very top. It's the class attribution, I think. Yeah, attribution, and it has a font size of 11 pixels. It has, let me also control this here as well. It has a font size of 11 pixels. It has text align of center. That's it. And on its links, so dot attribution space a, it has a different color. That is all. The color is 3E5283. That's look at now, if you look at it, so the text is aligned center, its font is changed, more smaller,